Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. I'm Sorrel and I am your cacaoista for this ceremony. I'm also a plant spirit medicine woman and I practice herbal medicine and hypnotherapy and shamanism and healing, and I'm a teacher. And my role for you today is to guide you on a cacao ceremony to meet the spirit of the sun. So the sun is, at the moment, we're around the time of the solstice, and the sun's highest in the sky at this time of year in the UK, in the northern hemisphere. It's going to be the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere, but you're still welcome, those of you, to join me in this ceremony to work with the spirit of the sun at this time of year. And so we've got a little sacred space set up around us with the stones on the beach today. I thought it would be a beautiful idea, seeing as it's so warm, it's so sunny, to bring you to the beach for this particular event, and to get a little bit more in touch with the spirit of the sun by being here with the sun, rather than in my normal position, in my lodge, in my garden. And so I've got my tools with me. I've got my little rattle. Instead of using sage smoke and candles, because they tend to get blown out. And also from my Australian shaman friends, they teach me that sometimes it's just not safe to set fires in nature, because you can set fire to nature and then you can end up with bushfires and all sorts. So we are going to use the spirit of the sun as our candle, as our fire, as well as using the spirit of the fire as the place we're going to journey to today, to meet with the sun spirit. So if we want to cleanse the space with our rattle instead of using sage, which I've already done today, but you might just want, if you're outside in nature, you might just want to rattle around your sacred space. I've already kind of walked around and done that a little bit already to make sure it feels like it's a sacred space. And then we're going to call in the directions, but we'll do that together with our cup of cacao in a minute. We've also got my drum, my water buffalo drum here, which is going to help us to journey and to let go of anything which we've been holding on to as well. The spirit of the sun, the fire energy, is very transformational and very powerful for letting go. So we're going to be using water buffalo drum, which is also my main drum for helping us to let go and release things which are no longer serving us. We may also want to set some intentions while we're there, because it is the new moon that we're working with for this particular ceremony, although you can do this at any time of the moon cycle, this ceremony. And as we are coming together for the live element of this ceremony, if for those of you who can join me live, then it is new moon time, which is the time to set intentions. So as we burn away the old stuff, we're making room for our new intentions to flourish and come through. So I hope you've all got your cacao ready. I hope you've got your sacred space ready. I've already had my cacao, so I can be in the right zone, the right frame of mind for you. And also so that when you're drinking your cacao, that you can listen to my words and they can guide you a little bit before we begin our journey and make the most of the time that we have together. So let's have a think. Have I explained enough so far? I think I have. So you're in your sacred space. You've got your cacao ready. Pretty much ready to go. So let's begin by starting to drink our cacao together by first calling in the directions. So with my cacao, I'm just going to turn to the east. You may know where the east is in your location. It's good to really tune in to know where you are when you're calling in the spirits. So we're going to begin in the east where the sun rises, and we're welcoming the sun today. We welcome the rising sun. We welcome the new beginning, the new dawn, the new day. And we welcome the spirit of eagle. The eagle who comes to our ceremony helps us to fly high into the sky, to really fly high today. We're going to fly up to touch the energy of the sun and commune with the spirit of the sun. And we invite you now, eagle, to come and help us to fly high and to journey so that we can connect, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to bring in the new energy, the new quantum energy, so that it manifests into our lives in reality. Oh, we welcome you. And then I turn to the spirits of the south. Beloved spirits of the south, we offer you this cacao and we welcome you. We welcome the bright sun in the sky at the noonday. And we welcome the spirit of water, the water behind us, there's the ocean, the spirit of water within us, the water within our cacao. You are such powerful medicine, and we welcome you to flow freely through us today and to help the medicine work through us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit of the South and the Spirit of Water. And as we're by the ocean today, and sometimes you see dolphins off the coastline here, I'm going to welcome in the Spirit of Dolphin today. And let's see if we can meet with the Spirit of Dolphin. Oh. Now we're going to tune to the spirits of the West. Beloved spirits of the West, we welcome you. We welcome the setting sun, and we welcome the people we've already become. We welcome the Spirit of Bear. As we close our eyes for this journey, please help us to go within and to connect with the light that comes out of the darkness, the light that shines through us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Spirits of the West, we welcome you. And now we tune in to our beloved spirits of the North, and we welcome you. We welcome the night and the bright moon shining. We welcome the air and clarity of thought. And today we welcome the Spirit of Wolf to our circle. Wolf will guide us around our medicine wheel, keep us safe, protect us, and then guide us home again. And we welcome you, Wolf. Thank you for guiding us through the journey today. We offer you this cacao, and we offer our cacao also to our ancestors here, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, and those who are yet to be born yet. We welcome you to our ceremony. Please help us to gather clarity and wisdom as we journey today. Ho. And now we turn all the way round, full circle, as I turn back to the east, so that I've gone in the horizontal plane all the way round. And now we're going to connect in with the spirits beneath us, the spirit of the earth. So as I tune in, it's lovely today. I can be barefoot and my hands can connect in as well with the earth. And Mama Cacao, we offer you the spirit to the earth. The spirit of Mama Cacao goes into the earth, even though she was gifted to us first. We're welcoming you and we're offering you into our ceremony. We welcome Mother Earth and all our earth relations, the plant people, the stone people, the spirits of the animals that live with us, the furry, the feathered, the fin ones, the creepy crawly ones, and the slimy ones. We welcome you all. We welcome the bacteria, the viruses, the mushrooms that make up our ecosystem, and all the beings that science hasn't even named yet that make up this amazing, harmonious experience of being on Earth. We welcome you all. Thank you for coming. And then we tune in to the spirits of the sky. Tuning in to Father Sky, we offer you our cacao and we welcome you today. We welcome you. We welcome the breath of life, the winds of change, the blue skies, the grey. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us in circle today. And then I stand up and turn around as I welcome in the spirits of the cosmos. Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, the star nations, and all our relations, we welcome you. And finally, the last direction is within. Great Spirit, we welcome you. You who have 10,000 names, yet are still unnameable. The spirit of the energy, the creation energy that flows through all things, we welcome you. Please help us to tune into the matrix today so that we may fly up as high as the sun and connect with Grandfather Sun today. Ho. Okay, so now I'm going to relax a little bit, settle down into my space while you start drinking your cacao. Now, if you have an intention for today, then I want you to hold your cacao to your heart and then just hold that intention. Maybe your intention today is to let go. Maybe your intention is to manifest something new in your life. Or maybe your intention is just to journey today with the spirit of Mama Cacao and to meet Grandfather Sun and see what comes. Just be open-hearted, open-minded and see what comes through. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about cacao and its properties and what you can expect for those of you who are brand new to ceremony, because we often have new people coming to these ceremonies. And so cacao, for me, I met her about 5 years ago now in a ceremony with 3 shamans that were holding space for me, and she completely transformed my life. She gives you a big rush of beautiful hormones, beautiful chemistry that come into your body. There's dopamine and serotonin, which are your happy high hormones. There is the oxytocin rush that we all get when we drink our cacao, and oxytocin is the chemical of love, and it floods us when we are falling in love, or when we're stroking a fluffy kitten or a dog, or when we're sitting on the beach and the breeze is caressing our skin and the sand is softly touching us as well. It's that beautiful feeling you get when you're falling in love with a human or a being or just nature itself. So as we're in nature today and the breeze is lovely and gentle and the sun's caressing me, I can already feel with the cacao rushing through me that oxytocin starting to flood the system, and it's beautiful. The other effects we can have, it opens up our heart chakra so that we can feel more love flowing through us, but also just be aware, slight side effect of that is that if there's anything stuck in the heart, maybe there's some grief, maybe there's some sadness, then maybe it will help you to release those energies as well today. So if you do have a little side effect of some tears coming through or a little bit of anger even coming through, then that's okay. Invite Grandfather Sun to burn those off for you, to help you to release them, so that then you've made space and you can fill up with the love, you can fill up with the light of Father Sun as well. On a spiritual level, Mama Cacao helps us to really tune into the nature spirits, so that when we are trying to connect with another conscious energy, and in shamanism everything is conscious, the rocks are conscious around us, they're all listening to everything I'm saying today, this drum is conscious, the sand is conscious, our Mama Cacao is conscious, it's all conscious energy. So when we are tuning into this conscious energy, the Mama Cacao helps us to open up our third eye and our ears, so that we can tune in and connect with those energies in the new way, so that we can digest that information and actually make sense of it. And so we thank Mama Cacao for helping us with that awakening, that ability to remember that we are all one. It's an amazing Buddhist teaching, and it's also a shamanic teaching, that we are all one. There is no separation, that this idea, this feeling of separation is actually an illusion. And when we can tune in with Mama Cacao, often we get that sense of oneness, that sense of connection to everything, and it's absolutely blissful. And so with the cacao starting to move through our bodies and waking us up, we're also having a physical experience in our mind where all the neurons start to connect up more freely, and this can bring us aha moments, where maybe you've been thinking about a problem you're working on and you've been struggling to find a solution, or maybe you're wondering what's the next step to take in life. Maybe you're running a business, or just generally within your relationships you're wondering how to progress forward. And so Mama Cacao can help us to connect up different parts of our brain, to have aha moments. I'm dyslexic as well, so I find it really, really useful to help my brain function at the optimum level, so that everything can weave together in a beautiful pattern and make more sense for me. So as we are allowing the Mama Cacao, she's going to be starting to move through your body now. It's almost ready for us to begin our meditation. So I want you to just finish off the last parts of your cacao, and we will begin the journey. So I want you to settle in to your sacred space and start to feel comfortable. Of course, this is going to be a video for you, so you can pause this ceremony at any point if you need to get up and go for a pee or get a glass of water or whatever it is you need to do. That's absolutely fine. Now, I'm not smudging today because it's just too windy. It's just not appropriate for me to bring a load of smoke into this space and smudge. But what I'd like us to do is, just before we do go into our journey, just to have a little Pokpo cleanse. The Pokpo is the name that the Mayans use for the aura. So with your hands in front of your heart, if you've finished your cacao, otherwise just pause, I want you to put your hands in front of your heart and imagine that your heart is like a chakra pouring love and light through that porthole into the hands, and then we're going to carry that energy up over our heads, open up to the sky, and now our arms become like a giant goblet for energy. And as we receive that energy from the universe as well, we're going to gather it up and we're going to pour it over the outside of the bubble, just washing our bubble clean. And that's anything which has just irritated us a little bit will just now be washed clean from our body into the ground, and we thank Mother Earth for taking that energy off us. And then we come back to our heart, and then we're going to do the next layer, which is between the outside of the bubble and the physical layer of the body, and that's the emotional layer. So let's gather that energy, take our hands up over our head, open up to the universe, And bring that energy now down through, all the way down through that layer into the ground. Thanking Mother Earth for taking any sticky emotions off us that have been lodged there. Okay. Thank you, Mother Earth, for taking those off us. And now we're going to do the physical layer of the body. So last layer, we're going to take from our hands, scooping that energy up, taking it over the top of our heads, opening up to the sky, bringing that energy down from the sky now into the arms, gathering it and all the way down through the physical layers, just shaking off any of that physical tension that's in the body as well. Okay, giving it to Mother Earth, thanking her for taking that off us. And she's a powerful sorceress. And she can take that energy away and compost it and turning it into something nutritious and delicious for us. Okay, so now we're cleansed, we've had our cacao. I want you to get super comfortable as I begin the journey for you. Now this journey involves us travelling up into the sky. So we're not going into a different dimension essentially today. Sometimes we journey into the lower realms or the upper realms. But today I just want us to imagine that we're flying into the sky. And remembering this is your spiritual energy. So we're going to imagine first, just in case you kind of nod off a bit during the ceremony, I'll explain what's going to happen first, and then you can come back remembering where you're at. So first of all, I'm going to get you to imagine there's a white light in your mind that represents your conscious energy, and we're going to expand it so it fills up the whole of the bubble, and then we're going to bring it back to just being us again, and then we're going to invite it to jump out of the head, fly up into the sky and fly towards the sun, wherever the sun is for you. And then as it's flying up into the sun, we're going to get higher and higher and higher until we connect with the sun. And I want us to go all the way into the centre of the sun. And for me, when I did this journey myself, many times I sit under the sun and I connect with it. But this is a different way of connecting with the sun, because you're going to go all the way into the sun with your conscious energy and see what Grandfather Sun wants to manifest as. So we'll call the manifestation of Grandfather Sun to come through. And they might turn up as a spirit guide in a kind of human type form, or they might turn up as a beautiful flame of energy, or perhaps they even turn up as an animal spirit for you. However they come is absolutely fine. Or it may not be a visual experience at all. It may be more of a sensation of release, of letting go, of connecting with the warmth of the sun. But whatever comes through, just trust that that's the right experience for you today. Okay, and then at the end of this experience, this guided meditation journey, I will bring you back to your bodies. I'll call you back. And in the middle of all of that, there will be a long period of drumming. And with that long period of drumming, you will have a chance to just fly free and experience whatever needs to come through. And in that space, quite often we do drift off. Maybe we drift off and start thinking of different things, and that's absolutely fine as well. So there's no problem if you do drift. Allow the drum to do its healing work. Drum on its own is immensely healing for the body as it vibrates every cell of your body and moves through you. So get your best headphones on or your best speakers on as we begin this journey. So make yourself really comfortable. And we're going to start with a heartbeat rhythm, nice and gently, which tunes us into the energy of the earth, because our bodies are going to be resting on the earth while we fly high. So start to take some nice deep breaths in. Doesn't matter if it's in through the nose or the mouth. Allowing that beautiful oxygen, thanking Father Sky for sharing the oxygen and the plants for creating the oxygen as it comes in and then out again. And then start to relax the physical body as well. Start to relax the head, the different muscles of the face, the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks, the jaw. Relaxing down into the neck, the shoulders. Relaxing down through the arms, into the lower arms, the hands and the fingers. Relaxing down through the neck and shoulders, into the chest and the back. Relaxing down through the torso, into the lower abdomen, the bands of muscle surrounding your hips and your lower back. Moving down through your pelvis. Down through into the legs, all the way down through the calves and the shins, into the feet and the toes. That's really good. Now our body is a little bit more relaxed, and Mama Cacao is starting to move through our bodies, bringing her beautiful chemistry to raise the oxytocin levels, to raise the dopamine, the serotonin levels in our body. Allow those sensations to flow through you, relaxing the muscles of your body, and allow Mother Earth to hold you so that you can fly high. Fly higher than the eagle into the realm where the sun lives. So let's tune in now to our mind's eye. Let's awaken our third eye by tuning into our mind and imagining it's completely empty, like a void in space, except for a tiny speck of pure white light. And that pure white light now is getting bigger and brighter. It's like a shooting star flying through space towards you, getting bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter until it fills up the whole of that void now, fills up your mind. And now it starts to move into your body. It's flowing down through your neck, your shoulders, through your arms, through your torso, your chest, your back, all the way down through the abdomen, the hips, through the pelvis, the legs, the feet, into the toes, through the arms and the fingers, so that you're completely filled with this beautiful pure white light. And now it moves down even further, or out even further rather, into the bubble that surrounds you, the aura that surrounds you, which is about an arm's length away. So imagine it now expanding out, so now you're standing in a beautiful star. You're right in the center of that star. And you feel yourself glowing a little bit like the sun himself. Now I'm told that in the southern hemisphere that the sun is actually a feminine energy. So in the northern hemisphere we think of the sun as a grandfather, and in some parts of the southern hemisphere we call it a mother, a grandmother sun. So whichever way works for you is absolutely fine. Connecting in with the spirit of the sun today. In a moment we're going to draw our energy back to being that tiny speck of white light and fly up to the sun. So let's begin that now. Let's draw our energy back from being a surrounding sunlight energy around us, drawing it back into the body, all the way back to being that tiny speck of light in the mind's eye. So now it's just a tiny speck of light again. Behind the ears, behind the eyes, almost ready now to fly. So setting your intention now to fly up towards the sun. I'm going to start beating a little bit faster with my drum. And as we beat faster with the drum, it helps our brain to tune in to the right rhythm, the alpha rhythm, which will help us to journey. And we want to stay awake, but we want to be in a trance state for this experience. It doesn't matter if you do drift off, but we want to make sure that we receive as much wisdom, as much healing as possible from our journey today. So start to allow that energy to rise up, that conscious energy that's represented by your tiny star in your mind's eye, to rise up out through the top of your head, through the portal we call the crown chakra. And if you're inner side, allow it to fly out through a window or a door, up out into the sky now, and be scooped up by a golden mist, and the golden mist will protect you. Allow it to fly you up into the sky now, flying up higher and higher, higher and higher through the sky. And as you travel, you can see the earth getting smaller and smaller. And you feel yourself leave the atmosphere of the earth, the protective energy of Father Sky, and you can see that blue atmosphere surrounding Mother Earth. And notice how thin it is. Notice how big the earth is. But as it gets smaller and smaller and you move up into space, you can see the stars getting brighter in the sky. And you see yourself facing the sun now, moving closer and closer towards the sun. A golden mist holding you, and you feel yourself flying past Grandmother Moon. And you can see the other planets in our solar system watching you. Venus and Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, all the planets watching over us. And now we're getting closer and closer to the sun, and we can see its fiery flames bursting out. And all the different colours, the oranges, the reds, the yellows, the whites of the sun's light. And the sun feels warm, but not too hot, because we're protected by our golden mist. So start to feel yourself coming closer and closer to the sun, and the sun reaches out and wraps its loving arms around you and pulls you closer in a giant hug, and pulls you in deeper and deeper and deeper until you're in the core of the sun now. And as you reach the core of the sun's light, you feel yourself being held. And let's just center ourselves for a moment in the sun's light. And as we center ourselves, we can feel ourselves connecting to the light that nourishes us, that feeds us, that gives life to us. Without the sun, there would be no life on earth. There would be no earth. And so now, as we tune into the gratitude and offer our gratitude to the sun, we call Grandfather Sun, or Grandmother Sun if you prefer, to come forward now. Please, Grandfather Sun, come forward and show yourself so that we may connect to you and communicate with you. And just be patient. Let go of any expectation of what might appear as we invite them to come forward. And as they come forward, you might want to welcome them like you would a new friend. Maybe you want to have a hug. Maybe you want to dance together to the rhythm of the drum. How does it feel to connect with this energy, this great spirit that we've been worshipping for thousands of years? You would like the assistance of Grandfather Sun in some way. Perhaps you would like them to guide you with a question, share their wisdom, or perhaps you'd like them to help you to release anything that's not longer serving you. Perhaps there's an old illness that you've been struggling to shift. You'd like their help to burn it away, release you from it. Perhaps you'd like them to help you see more clearly what you need to see to take the next steps on your journey through life. Tuning in to the spirit of your sun with your intention, and feel the oneness. As you continue to invite Grandfather Sun to be with you today, I'm going to drum for you until the end of this experience, when I'll call you back to your body. And then if you are joining us live ceremony, we can come together at the end and share in circle our experiences. So now I release you into the sun as I drum for you. time for us to come back to our bodies. So if you're still with Grandfather Sun right now, or whoever's come through for you today, whoever you're journeying with, then just thank them for coming through for you today. Thank them for their energy and the teachings and the healing and the experiences that they've gifted you today. Knowing that you can journey back here whenever you want to have more connection, more communion time with this powerful spirit guide. So thank them for their love, their wisdom, their guidance, and now let's start to come back. You feel the golden mist carrying you backwards through space. You feel yourself be released by the arms of Grandfather Sun. And as you get pulled back towards the earth starts to get bigger. You're floating through space, looking at the beautiful stars in the sky, and you can see the atmosphere getting closer and closer. And then you pop back through the atmosphere, getting closer and closer. I'm going to drum faster and faster for you. Come back down to earth, you might see the place on earth where your body is, the country that you live in coming into view, coming back to the landscape where you live, coming back through the doorway or the window of your home, coming back to your body, back in through the top of your head, and welcome home. Okay, so now we're all back into our bodies. Just take some deep breaths, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, so that we can feel fully back in our bodies again. Now, you might want to take some time now to integrate anything which came through, any of the stories which came through, a bit like when we come back from a dream. It's good to make notes or you forget the details. And then sometimes just the writing of the experience will bring through more insight. Because when we journey, we're very much using our right brain consciousness, and we weave that in through our left brain consciousness to make more sense of it in this reality that we exist in. And while you're doing that, I'm going to close the directions as well. As we close the directions, that means you're all able to leave sacred space without still being connected to each other and to the elements, so you become less hyper aware of all the different energies around you, so you can just be you again. And then those of you who want to join me in the Zoom chat after this ceremony, if you're part of our live experience, then we'll be back on Zoom in about 5 minutes time after the ceremony closes. So I'm going to use my rattle, which I also used to cleanse the space earlier, just to say goodbye to all our directions. So we'll begin again in the east. Spirits of the east, we thank you. We thank the rising sun, the new day, the new dawn, and we thank our spirit guide, Eagle, for coming to our ceremony today, for guiding us on the journey up to the sun and bringing us home again so that we can manifest our desires in reality. Ho. Beloved spirits of the south, we thank you. We thank the water, the flow of life. We thank the dolphins and the warmth of the noon sun. We thank this opportunity to cleanse ourselves of the old and expand into the new. We thank you. Ho. And spirits of the west, we thank you. We thank the dusk and the setting sun, and we thank the people we've already become. And we thank this opportunity that we've had today to go within and discover our light and our connection to the sun's light. We thank Bear for guiding us through that experience and helping us to know how that is to go into the darkness and bring forward new light. Ho. And our spirits of the north, we thank you. We thank the night and the bright moon shining, the air and clarity of thought. And we thank the grandmothers, the grandfathers. We thank the beings yet to be born yet, and we thank Wolf, who guides us around our medicine wheel and home again. We thank you. And turning around to the east again, so we've said goodbye to the horizontal plane, We now thank our dear Mother Earth. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you for holding space for our bodies while you flew high into the sky. Thank you to all our earth relations, the plant people, the stone people, the animals, the air, the water, the land. We thank the creepy crawly, the slimy ones. We thank the viruses, the bacteria, the mushrooms. We thank all the beings that make up this ecosystem, and we ask you to remind us, even after this ceremony closes, especially after the ceremony closes, how to live in harmony with you always. Thank you. And we thank Father Sky for the breath of life, the winds of change, the blue skies and the grey. Thank you for holding space for us. And we thank our cosmic relations, Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, and the star nations. We thank you. And lastly, we thank the spirit of creation, the energy of all things, Great Spirit. We thank you. Ho. And we thank Mama Cacao, and we thank this beautiful landscape that we've come to today. And we thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining me for this special ceremony today. I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've released whatever needed to let go of. I hope you've brought in new light into your life. And I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how this experience went for you. So if you'd like to join us in circle after the ceremony, come and join me in about 5 minutes' time. Otherwise, if you're doing this as part of a recording, or you would like to just go and take some personal time now, then do get in touch with me in the many ways we can communicate. Get in touch and let me know how you got on. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again in ceremony soon.